Good morning. So I am going to be doing a quick overview of some of the books that we are going to be looking at this month with the teenagers for our homeschool. I have a 16-year-old, an almost 16-year-old, an almost 17-year-old, and a 14-year-old. And every month I take out some books that I think are good in addition to the regular schooling. But we are relaxed homeschoolers, so it's not necessarily textbook based, so I do pull a lot of different places. First off, I wanted to start with this book. It's The Secret to Teen Power, and I'm a big fan of the Secret books for myself. And the only reason I'm including this month is because I want to kind of promote that sense of positivity and staying positive and knowing that they can pretty much do what they want to do out of life. Every once in a while a teen will get grumpy or angsty or just kind of in a funk, and I just want to kind of make sure that they stay positive and know that pretty much, you know, they can do whatever they set their mind to do. And that's the main reason for this. And it's just a quick read, something different that's not so schooly. This next book is from the library. It's called How to Lie with Statistics. And this book actually, I Instagrammed it a couple weeks back, and it's by Daryl Huff. It's an older book, 1954 is the original copyright date, and it basically kind of teaches people that, you know, what you necessarily see out there is not in statistics, and, you know, 75% of people say this or that. Things can be fudged in marketing to sway, you know, to sway things in the favor of the company or in the favor of the, you know, whatever. So this is a good book, and here's just some of the, you know, some of the contents here. So that's the book that I thought I might just have my 17-year-old read this at this point. He's a junior right now, and I might, you know, take this out again when my girls are a little bit older, but I think this might just be for my 17-year-old. Next up, this is a book that we own. It's called Planet Exile, and it's not necessarily, well, there's quite a few in the series, and what it does is it helps with vocab development, and it's basically a story, but it will have, at the end, at the bottom, the definitions of the words used. So you'll get them in context here and the definitions below. And it's a vocabulary builder for, you know, for SAT review, which is, you know, coming up soon for the student that I have that will be taking them. I don't know that they are all going to be taking them just because they're all on different paths at this point. But, you know, I don't like to push, you know, things that what I think they should do. So there's that. And these come, this is just one out of several, and I wish I had a list, but I don't, of these books. And they are really great as far as helping with building vocabulary, as you can see. I mean, some of these words, obviously the kids do know: petulant and mnemonic, but mnemonic. But querulous, you know, some of these words are, you know, we know, but some of them not so much. So that's a good. It's just a good book, and it's a quick read, and they're introduced to the words, which is helpful. Okay, this book we actually own as well. It's Rich Dad Poor Dad for Teens, and it's been through some, I don't know, spills and things like that. But essentially, I've tried this a couple years ago with them, and it didn't really work out, so we're going to try it again now. And it's basically, you kind of keep a journal and go through, and there's kind of little activities to do. And it just teaches about, you know, if you're familiar with Robert Kiyosaki, it's generally what he teaches in his books and seminars and things like that. So, but on a teen level. He also has, for younger children, a board game called Cashflow for kids, I believe it's called. We did own it for a while, and I might purchase it again for my for my toddler when he's a little bit older. I think it's geared like more for an 8-year-old, but it teaches about assets and liabilities and all of that. So this is another book that like I said, we tried it when we first started homeschooling a couple years ago, and it just didn't go over well. They were a little bit younger, so we're going to try it again. And it's, they can keep it in a journal, and it's not anything I'm looking at. It's just something that they can work through. Additionally, September 11th, I came across this book on Pinterest, and it's answering questions about the attacks on America, because I feel like everything that's going on now is kind of spiraling from this day. And at the time, my teens were, Sesame Street. They were upstairs watching Sesame Street while I was downstairs watching this occur on my television screen. So, being so young, I thought this would be a good book for them to read and understand and know what exactly happened. And I'm finishing up here because I have a toddler that's ready for some fun. The next one, these are some Life of Fred books, and these actually they start in the kindergarten level and they go through college level actually, and they're very straightforward, and they kind of teach as much as you really need to know. What? What are you saying?
Jake and Pirates.
All right, hold on a second. Oh, Jake and the Neverland Pirates? Okay, give me 1 second. Okay, so where was I? I was talking about Life of Fred, and it basically follows this little guy. His name is Fred. And they start, like I said, they start in the kindergarten level, and I think it's called apples, butterflies, it's ABC. There's ABC, cats, I think, then dogs. I don't remember, elephant, I don't know, but there's a whole list. You can go onto the Life of Fred website. I think it's just lifeoffredmath.com. I'll put a link. I'll put a link down so you can see. But basically, it's the basics that teach it's really about teaching concepts. And this is the one for pre-algebra with biology, pre-algebra 1 with biology, and this is what my 9th grader is going to be using right now. And then there's pre-algebra 2 with economics, and we'll be using that in addition to another website that we're using, which my middle daughter, my sophomore, has finished. She's well on to geometry at this point, which Life of Fred does have a geometry version, which I think we're going to purchase. And then we, for Algebra 1, we use corealgebra1.com is the website. It's about 12 lessons, and I'll put a link to that as well. And then Algebra 2, I'll have to research. I know that they're using Khan Academy for that. I know my son is using that, my older son. But the geometry is my next purchase for my sophomore, just to kind of get a basic overview of geometry. I'm not putting too much emphasis on it. We're just going to use Life of Fred books for that. But for the other Life of Fred books, we do supplement, with the exception of geometry. And I will probably go through and get the Life of Fred curriculum for my toddler as well, starting with the apples and going through butterflies, all of those books as well, because I do like the way that it's laid out, and I do like the story behind it. It just makes it fun and less daunting. Finally, Life Prep for Homeschool Teenagers. This is another one that I purchased when we first started homeschooling, and it didn't go over well, but now that I have one that is headed off to culinary school soon, and another that is actually headed off to college after that, the third, we're not really sure. I think she's just going to go right into the workforce. This is a book that gives... it's a parent-friendly curriculum for teaching teens about credit cards, auto and health insurance, managing money, and becoming debt-free while living their values. And it is by Barbara Frank, published by Cardamom Publishers. And it is essentially there are little projects throughout the book, and it's geared towards whether you are headed to college or whether you are headed to the workforce. And it's set, it's split in half. And then the projects, there's reading assignments, there's car project, car purchase, car insurance, car loan, bringing it all together. So it kind of teaches everything that you wish you knew when you got out of high school. and got into college. I know that when I started college, I got car loan assignment. When I got out of college, I was bombarded. When I got out of high school, I was bombarded with credit card offers, and that is just, it was just a terrible, terrible situation. So this really gives, you know, some background as to, you know, rent. This is assignment. You have to research, trying to find an apartment, you know, call to find out deposit, how the length of lease, things like that. And again, like I said, it does break it down if your teenager is work bound and if your teenager is college bound. And it talks about getting health insurance coverage, different things like that. So this book is going to be invaluable for life skills and things that you just, hey Lucky, there's the cat, things that you just want to, your kid to know that you may not have thought about telling them or teaching them, and it's all in one book. So it's, and that's something that we're going to be working on now through the rest of the year. We're going into the holidays, so that will start probably in January. Finally, just a quick overview, and if there's an interest, I will do more of a review. But this is the planner that I use, and like I said, we are pretty relaxed homeschoolers, so I don't have a much in the way of planning, just kind of links and things like that I will put here. It's the Homeschooling Family Planner. It's from Mardell, and they do actually have, I think this is about $20, but they do have an online version that is free, that's printable. I just, at the time, my printer was not working well, so I didn't really, I just decided to purchase it. So it does have the calendar broken down, the beginning. Let's see if you go through. Yeah, and I'm not one of those planner people, but you know, this, I felt like I needed it, and I use it, but as you can see, I don't use a whole lot of it. But I do use, like I said, the calendars, and there are some lesson planning sections, which of course I can't get to right now. But it's overall a decent planner for us. Like I said, I mostly use it for the calendar, but I do some planning here, just to kind of give a, you know, and it has space for the subject, and then each section here is for the student. So I have, this was for the algebra that they were working on, and so yeah, that's essentially it. So that's the Mardell Planner, and you can find that on their website. They are a Christian-based company, so this does have some scripture in there in different places, somewhere here. Yeah, so that's one thing, just to be, you know, if that's something that you don't want or you do want, that's something that is important to note. So it is a Christian-based company, and a lot of the things on the website are Christian-based. So there's that. So that's basically what we're working on the next couple of weeks in our high school homeschool, in addition to a few other things. They do have their own interests that they pursue as well. So that's what's going on. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye-bye.